Hello, everybody, and welcome to round two of the playoffs here for the Prestige Cup Series here at Kansas Speedway. This mile and a half track here in located in Kansas City, Kansas. Hello, my name is Christian Delgado, lead producer and commentator for tonight's race. No Peter Terrio, no Matthew Perchatsky in the booth for tonight's race, so it'll just be me by myself calling the race tonight. But I can't wait. Obviously, a home track for me and a home track for everybody up here in the HVTV, broadcasting booth up here. So can't wait to call, race here at my home track, night race here at Kansas Motor Speedway. So it's going to be very interesting to see what we can do, but we do have some cars out on track as they have about 4 minutes left to practice, as you see on our ticker, and we'll go ahead and look at some of your fastest drivers. Looking at, so you're going from your top 16, let's look at your points leader right now. Kentorian Davis, your points leader here, coming into Kansas week 2 of the playoffs / chase. The Kentorian in this number 88 machine right now, currently P2 on track. This new Ally machine. Nice looking hot rod for this 88 machine coming into the playoffs. You see another playoff driver right there, right? They're battling with him. That's the 99 of Christian Zerati. It's going to show 53 on the ticker, but he's been the 99 for the last 2 weeks. You see them battling out here. And this really shows the dynamic way that Kansas works. You see Christian not really wanting to go up there to the wall, but you saw Kadorian getting a better run there. Got a little bit of the dirty air behind the 99 and put himself into the wall a little bit there. But this track gets really racy at night, and it's going to put on some phenomenal racing for you guys at home. Looking at some of your other drivers battling for a championship. Joseph Enright back here. He's actually 14th on the grid here in practice, but currently P2 in points, only 2 points behind Kentorian Davis. Gabriel Goli back here in 11th. It looks like he had a spin here going down the backstretch. He's currently P3 in points. If we can find Brian White, I don't think he's on the racetrack. He is in the session right now, currently off track in the garage, trying to do some work to that machine, trying to get it ready for the race tonight. Brandon Kiger back here in P3 in points. He's P4, P5 in points. We'll look at the Youngblood machine. Why Youngblood? Currently P6. Actually tied for P5 with that 85 Kiger machine. So Wyatt currently P9 in practice. Pull up your ticker and you can see exactly where everybody is running there. You see TJ Henley back there in P10, also a playoff driver. TJ, P8 in the standings. Christian Zerati, we talked about him earlier, P7 in the points. So some big covers and some big goers. Like someone like Zerati lost 4 spots. Wyatt Thompson lost 7, but is still eligible to run for a championship here. But you look at Joseph Enright, had a really good run last week, and bumps himself up 7 spots. Obviously, he'll be locked in the next, and no, he will not be locked in the next round because there is no next round. Something a little bit different to the Prestige playoffs is that it's going to be like a chase style format. Obviously, we have 16 drivers racing for a championship, not like the 12 or 13 technically, if you want to count in the weird Jeff Gordon thing when it came to the chase. But these next the next races after, since now it's going to be basically it's like the chase. Top 16 made it in, but whoever comes out here with the best points is going to win this championship. So be very interesting to see. 25 of Benjamin Bushnell right now, currently your fastest in practice. Also a playoff driver sitting back there in P11 in the points. So huge run for this 25. And it's funny because we'll see Benjamin do really well in practice, do really well in qualifying. This has never had the race pace that I think this 25 can show. We'll see if maybe he could turn that around here in the Heartland. You see practice getting ready to wind down, and Bushnell will be your fastest practice, the best time of a 29.25. So a good practice for that 25. Needs to turn it around here if he wants to make a deep run into the playoffs here. Obviously, Kentorian Davis, Joseph Enright winning the last 2 weeks. Really helps them out. So 25 right now, sitting back there. P11 in points, needs a good qualifying, needs a good um, everything really to put himself back into there. Speaking of qualifying, ready to start your qualifying here at Kansas. It looks like we'll find some drivers to pick. Looks like once again Wyatt Youngblood, one of the first out on track. Why did a new different scheme? Obviously the same sponsor we've seen out of this one machine all race. This MLB Prospects coverage machine with a red and blue gradient this time. Nice looking scheme for this number 1 machine. We'll see this one machine start his first laps. Remember, the drivers have 5 minutes to set 2 clean laps here. By clean laps, that means you just can't really hit the wall. Don't go down and hit the grass for some other reason. Maybe down in the tri-oval. We'll see what kind of line this one machine runs. And the 3 and 4 runs the middle line. Going to drop down to the bottom. He'll run a 29.6. Enough for P2. Gabriel Ngoli, currently your pole sitter, 29.49. Good lap for that 55 machine. Brandon Kiger, see back there in P2. Now Bushnell moving himself up into P2. We'll see this one machine complete the second lap. We'll see if he can gain any time here. No, he'll actually lose a little bit, so not the lap he wanted, but we have DJ Hanley out on track, a new pink TH Designs machine. Really nice looking car for TJ as well. TJ wrapped this top here to get as much momentum to start this first lap. And by looking at it, it looks like this first lap is going to be the quickest, so we'll kind of line this 13 runs. Gonna go up high for in the 1 and 2, gonna get their momentum off down, and he's just gonna have more speed down the backstretch running this line here versus going to the bottom. Ooh, I don't know if he got the wall there. They say he'll make a little bit of contact. I don't know if that will disqualify this lap time. They run this middle high line. Going forward, we'll see if this time counts. 29.7 for Hanley there. Gonna start the second lap here. Gonna run the top once again in 1 and 2. That time did not count, but it did give us the time there, but did not count. If Hanley can run a better lap here. Christian Zarate moves his way up to the pole. 29.395. Good lap for him. See if this 13 can get a competitive lap hit. 29.46. That's good enough for P2. What a lap by the 13 machine. What a lap by TJ Hanley. Going to put himself into the front row for now. Got one more driver left. Eli McDonald in this 73. We're at a camera. Starting his first lap. Donald right there with the 29.9. We'll see if he can improve on this time at all. Ooh, and a 30.0. So not the time that 73 wants. I just see qualifying ticking down. Christian Zarate going to be your pole sitter. TJ Henley Gonna start that outside front row. And Dorian Davis, your points leader, gonna be back there in third place. Just like that, qualifying under complete, and we will get ready to start your race here. 125 laps here at Kansas Motor Speedway. At Kansas Speedway, my apologies. And we will let these drivers, we'll wait a couple seconds, let these drivers get in their cars, get their cars tuned up to this race set that they want to have in here, and then we will be starting lineup. Started, presented by HVTV. We have most of them lined up. We're going to go ahead and get your starting lineup here, presented by HVTV. Only 60 cars decided to show up for tonight's race, but that's okay. As we see right there, Christian Zerati, your pole sitter, with that 29.395, and TJ Hanley going to round out that row 1 in that 13 machine. And Dorian Davis in the 88 with Benjamin Bushnell needed a really good qualifying effort out of him to march his way back up inside to fight for a championship. Good lap by him in that 25. Gabriel Ngoli in the 55 going to be is going to start P5 with Jacob Hoskins in the 45 and round out that row 3. P7 is going to be Oliver Quinney in the 41 with Zach Case being in P8. Brandon Kiger in 85, P9, and rounding out your top 10 is Joseph Enright in that number 7 machine. And rounding out the rest of your field, Anthony Alex in the 4 machine, going to be P11. Brian White in the 84, going to round out your row 6 of P12. Wyatt Youngblood, P13, alongside Jonathan Dolly in the 14th place. And rounding out your field there, 15th and 16th, Eli McDonald and Justin Wilkes in that 93 machine. Taking a look at your race weather for tonight's race. You see 70 degrees with 71 track temp with about 60% track humidity with 5 mile an hour wind. So, I mean, a great night to go racing here at Kansas here at night. Under the lights here. And you do see the pace car lights are off, which means we'll be going green this time by 125 laps here at Kansas Speedway to start your second race of the playoffs. We'll see that 99 Christian Zerati, the 13 of TJ Henley, 2 Chevys going to lead us to green here as we get ready to go. Round 2 of Kansas, and we're getting ready to go green here. Coming back around to lead your first lap, it's going to be the number 99 of Christian Zerati. Zerati goes out there. He's going to have a good, 2-3 car length lead over that 88 of Kadoran Davis. Some guys having some issues. Going to get into the wall here in these first couple laps. After he wide in the back, Oliver Quinney trying to make the top work. As he's going to sandwich that 25. He's going to clear that 25 now. Going to drop down in the middle. Now here comes DJ Henley trying to make up some maneuvers. We saw him getting in the wall there on that first lap, trying to rip the wall. Lost a couple spots there. Now side by side with the 25 of Benjamin Bushnell. Bushnell will clear this number 13 machine, and the 13 will drop back into that number 5 position. Little side by side further on back here. White Youngblood trying to make the bottom work here in 3 and 4. Gonna get side by side with the 66 exact case. Case and Youngblood side by side gonna be going into turn 1. Ace will put that car all the way to the wall here. Gonna get a good run off the corner into the wall though. That should help. White Youngblood tried to stay side by side with this Toyota machine. Oh, he's at case. Worked really well there in that super speedway at Talladega. It's actually worked really well with that car right behind him, that 85 machine, Brandon Kiger. Right now sitting back here in the 8th place, trying to hold on to this spot. As the one machine of Youngblood trying to hold on here, trying to take this spot away. He'll do so. Further on back, we'll see the 7 machine in, right? Jonathan Dolly. 3 wide back here. Gonna get around the 45, gonna get around the 7 as well as the 74. Move himself up. Inside the top 10, up 4 positions from where he started. Going back up to the race lead, still Christian Zarate leads the field here with 6 laps complete, but a battle for P2, Kadori Davis getting a little bit of a pressure from Oliver Quinton using this top lane. Something we'll have to talk about throughout the race series. It is a night race here at Kansas, so you're not going to get these cars that are going to be slipping and sliding around. It's cold. The track is, under the lights. The track is, a good temp. It's cold and it's all gripped up. So you can kind of run wherever you want. There's not going to be a lot of tire fall off compared to what you'd see during the daytime. You see now the 55 goalie gets to the outside of the 41. One not clear. Still side by side back here for the P3 position. Really making this top work here. Gonna get a run off the corner here. Gonna be side by side. Gonna try to clear the 41 as he will. Give goalie that P3 position, but the 41's gonna have to go down, drive it down in the corner. I feel like 3 and 4 on the bottom is a little bit better than it is in 1 and 2. The goalie's really ripping that wall, doing a good job. He's gonna move himself up into the P3 position, up 2 positions for where he started. But going back to what I was trying to say is that with how, gripped up and how cold this track is, kind of run wherever you want, not really have to worry about tire wear. There will be a little bit of tire wear, I feel like, but not as much as you would see during the day. Start to see the top 2 start to pull away from the rest of the field a little bit now. And Dorian Davis has about a 6/10 lead over P3 of goalie. He's kind of riding in the tire tracks of this 99 machine, Christian Zarate. Obviously a pole sitter, and then has been aggressive to keep this lead since the drop of the green flag. Now we are working with our graphics department. Next week we will have your chase drivers highlighted in yellow, so you guys could kind of keep an eye on who to look for here. And right now it looks like all of your chase drivers are now currently sitting right there inside the top 10, almost all of them. Unfortunately, with only 16 people showing up, a lot of your chase drivers are forced to show up here and the run for a championship. So I feel like it's just going to be like a chase showdown for tonight at Kansas. And now currently 12 complete, going to lap 13. We have everybody kind of single file right now throughout the field, just trying to sit in line, find their pace, trying to figure out what this car is going to do on the long run. As a caution is out. I say that, everybody sitting in line, we get a caution here on lap 12. Like Justin Wilkes maybe had an issue here with alongside Jacob Hoskins in that 45 machine. We're going to find what happened between these two. Oh, wow. See what happened here between this 93 and this 45. We'll go to our Old reliable chopper cam here in the HVTV booth. 45. Gets 30 air there from the 7 and the 93. Oh man, I don't know. I can't tell if the 45 got loose there or if he just didn't really know the 93 was there and turned down the track. Obviously, he was almost going to make contact with the 84 of Brian White there. I don't know. Maybe he didn't really see the 93 coming that quick. You see that 45 turn down the track. I don't know if that was because he was loose or maybe he got spooked because he didn't want to hit that 84. But unfortunately, the 93 and the 45 make contact. I think the 93 keeps it out of this inside wall here. Wow, ooh, I mean, a little tap to the rear end. I don't think that's gonna hurt anything. That will bring out a caution here on lap 12. I can't imagine anybody going down pit side here unless you know those two cars that I did here. We actually see Joseph Enright down pit side. So I'm gonna take some tires here on lap 14. Take a look and see. So these drivers have 5 sets of tires, so the sets that they were given plus 4 extra. So, I mean, it's gonna be an interesting call to see how 14 laps of tire difference is gonna match up. Obviously, the 7 comes down, takes some tires, and Justin Wilkes also comes down to take probably some tires here. Like no damage on this electrolyte machine. So Enright and Wilkes comes down pit side. Everybody else decides to stay out here on track. I don't really blame them. I mean, we only ran, what, 12 laps here? I mean, obviously, 12 laps is a decent amount, but I don't think it's enough to come down pit road. But I guess if you're like someone like Wilkes who got caught up in the wreck there, if you're someone like Joseph who just needs something different, then I don't really mind that. Anybody who's, you know, tuning in, maybe also wanting to know about the baseball and obviously the Thursday night football game, the 49ers versus the Rams, we do have a sports sticker down there on the bottom to try to inform you guys a little bit more about what's going on with the sports world. Obviously, a lot going on. You know, the NFL just started its season here for 2025, and obviously we're at the postseason for MLB. Obviously, we're also in the NASCAR playoffs, so a lot going on during this time of the year. You'll see the Cup Series go to the Charlotte Roval, the new reconfiguration of the Charlotte Roval. I think that's the second time that they'll run there in the Cup Series. Obviously, also in the Xfinity and Truck Series, they're going to be there as well. So, a lot going on this weekend, obviously, with, you know, football, baseball, NASCAR, obviously here right now for the Prestige Cup Series as we're in our second week of the playoffs. You're seeing one of your playoff drives right there. Christian Zarate leading. And you also see the pace car take a hard left turn on the pit road. And that 99.88. 2 Chevys once again will lead us back to green as we get ready to get back into restart zone. And Christian Zarate will lead us back to green. Good jump out of the 99 here. You'll leave that 88 in the tracks. Side by side back here, you see the 41. Oliver Quinney. In that top lane once again. Ooh, you see Zach Case getting the wall there. They're going to get taken. Is the 25. It looks like just Bushdale's going to try to take advantage of that mistake. 3, almost 4 wide back here. Outside the top 5. And everybody's being aggressive to try to take this track position away from someone who made a mistake like that 66. Oliver Quinney continuing to use this wall here. And then get clear of the 55. Put that 41 up here inside this podium spot. BJ Hanley using this bottom lane to try to get this track position he lost on that first restart. And to see him try to look on the inside of this 55 machine goalie and try to defend on the top. 13 on the bottom, 55 on the top. 55 is going to get a run off the corner here using that top lane. And TJ's just going to have to try to hold on here on the bottom, try to get in the 3 and 4, try to stay side by side as he does. I don't know if TJ's going to hold on for that much longer. It's the 55 is going to have to run. He's going to have to get back up in line if he wants it. Side by side back here for the P6 position. Two Toyotas going at it. The 66 and 85. Duking it out for that P6 position. And the 74 trying to make some moves, trying to be aggressive here. Jonathan Dolly up 6 spots from where he started. He's putting his nose where really no one else is. Trying to make up some spots here. Going to try to get on the inside of that 66. Gets a little loose. Going to have to give it up. And just good racing everywhere we see now. Side by side out here for the back. And then obviously you see TJ Hanley trying to hold on. He's still trying to get around this 55. A little bit of contact between the 13 and the 55. That's allowed Brandon Kiger to move his way into this battle. Hanley not quite clear yet. Have to drive it down here in the 3 and 4. Try to do a little bit of a slide job. Get up in front of this 55. Going to clear easily over the 55 as the 55 battles with the 85 now. Iger trying to make a move on goalie. Iger moves his way up to the field, and goalie starting to fall a little bit back. Now the 66 under going to put an attack on this 55. And that is kind of the downside of Kansas, I guess, is like when you get put in a bad spot, you can't really just like let someone go and kind of sit in line there. If you let someone go, you give someone the spot, you're gonna see guys attack here, like this 66 is trying to do. And you just kind of have to be defensive throughout the whole race. Now the 66 gonna look on the outside of the 55. I think the 55 will clear here. Oliver Quinney under attack. We saw him getting the wall there out of more than 2 that last lap. DJ Hanley going to try to use his bottom once again. Try to clear, but the 41 with the run off the top, side by side, going to the line. Give it to the 41. And I think Hanley's got a good car tonight. Needs to get the track position, needs to get clear of this 41. I think he's a little bit better right now. As he'll clear. See if he can go up there and try to catch those front 2 drivers. Take a look up here for your front 2. They have pulled away there. Almost a second gap to back there to P3. But Kenorian Davis does not let this 99 get away. Has been on the tire tracks as a 99 all race, really. Christian Zarate still led every lap of the race, but Kenorian Davis right there in P2 has just been right on his tail throughout the whole race. But TJ Hanley is catching him very quickly. Now you have to think, is TJ burning this stuff up to try to get back up there? Or does he just have a little bit more pace under this car right now? TJ's shown that he has a really good short run pace, but tends to use up his stuff a little bit. So we'll see if TJ can take advantage of this pace he has right now and try to keep this. The Oliver Quinney dropping back to P5 now after working his way all the way up to P3. You saw, Quinney being one of those first guys to jump up to the top side. You saw, the benefits of it where you could really push this car a lot harder. But if you make a little mistake, you really take a lot of the pace out of the car there. You get up into the wall or you just get put in a bad spot. It really tears up the car really easily. You see him back there in P5. Trying to hold on for a little bit. And back here, Zach Case trying to hold off a hungry herd of guys. As you see the 25 into the back end of the 74 and the 74 all over the rear end of the 66. You saw that 66 cut the apron there, and that's actually a really good defensive tool that these drivers could use, depending on where the car is, but depending on where the run is for the driver. See the 74 get around the 66, but depending on like how the play, if you want to call it, is set up, especially if you on the top there can get clear. If you drop down there below the apron, it can really like help get you away from the car who's trying to chase you down. You saw the 66 get a little bit tight there, had the lift there, and allow the 25 now. Benjamin Bushnell gonna try to get underneath the 66 as he'll make the pass here. The 66 starting to drop back through the field. Battling back here, Oliver Quinney, Gabriel Ngoli fighting for this P5 position. Will become the 5 laps to go in the stage. We do have a stage caution here on lap 35. Got to mention that. That's usually Peter's job, is to talk about that. Oh, a little bit of a contact between the two here. Well, we're going to try to take the spot away, but he will. He's going to slide up in front of the 41, try to give him that dirty air. Gully will try to run away from this 41 machine. The 41 has started to fall off a little bit too here in the closing laps of stage 1. The 74 has come on strong here. Obviously, Jonathan has not really raced here in the Prestige Cup Series that often, but we already see now he's got a ton of pace under this machine. Did not have a good qualifying lap. It shows he's got a lot of good race pace here. Fired all the way back there in 14th, has worked his way inside the top 10. And if he probably had a couple more laps, would work his way inside the top 5 here. But coming with 3 to go in the stage, I don't know if he's gonna have enough time. Benjamin Bushnell has also driven his way up through the field here as well, after losing a lot of that track position, down 4 positions. But shows a lot of pace here at Kansas right now. The battle right now is between the race leaders here. The 88 and the 99 battling out, and because of that, it's going to allow the 13 of TJ Henley to try to catch up here for this race lead. First time we've seen the 99 have to defend this lead here in this race. He's going to try to use this top, try to get the run off the corner here. Going to try to pinch this 88 down a little bit. Going to try to get that run off the corner, try to stay side by side here. That's the only thing he can do to defend. You see the 88 now, a little bit of a contact as we go to the white flag lap. And they say just, oh, contact! A little bit of netcode contact between the 88 as the 88 blinks out. Spins out the 99 here. So it's going to be between Hanley and now the 88. Hanley gets to the outside there after that little scrum up of the blink. Does Hanley have a good run off the top to try to steal the stage win away from this 88 machine? He's not doing it. And Dorian Davis going to go on to win stage 1. The caution will wave there. I want to go back and look at this replay here between the 88 and 99 here. So this is coming to the stage here. When you see a blink or something, you see the 88 blink out here going into 1 and 2. I mean, he was going to make contact with the 99 regardless, I think. So that's really interesting to see. The 88 kind of use up the 99 there. Obviously, 2 playoff drivers. I wouldn't try to get in a scuffle with someone who you're racing for a championship with. And obviously, you see netcode. It just hooks the 99 down the track, kills any run the 99 has to slow it down there. Lucky that he got P3 in the stage. They're going to get some decent stage points. I think he probably could have raced for the stage win there. And unfortunately, that coach strikes again here from Kansas. The cars coming down pit side here. We'll see our first pit stops for most of the field here. Justin Wilkes decides to stay out. Remember, he took those tires from the first caution between him and the 45 of Jacob Hoskins, so he's going to stay out here. 7 of Joseph Enright. It's called it a night, it looks like. Back there in the 7 machine, back there in P16, 16 laps down now, so fortunate to hear that news. Hopefully everything's okay in the 7 camp. We'll get ready to watch this race off pit road. Is Hanley might have gotten it. I'm not sure. Really close between him and the 88. Looks like it's giving it to the 13. So a good pit stop for the 13 of Hanley to beat the 88 off of pit road there. I think it's giving it to the 13. 88 got back out in front. Okay, we're going to call it. Give it to the 88. Oh, no. Did Hanley speed? I think TJ Hanley might have sped down pit road. We'll take a look here. No black flags. Interesting. Hanley coming back down pit road, though. Interesting. The TJ Henley and Benjamin Bushnell were given an EOL penalty, as well as Eli McDonald. I'm very confused of what's going on here, but I'll give the race lead back to Dorian Davis. Justin Wilkes was also black flagged. Unsure. But yeah, we'll have the front two. Once again, your front two, but we'll flip. Now, Dorian Davis will lead Christian Zarate to green. We'll see Brandon Kiger, John, and then Dolly, the big mover of the race back there at P4. They're going to be a fast 4 going into the Geico, not into the Geico restart, just the restart zone here at Kansas. As we're green once again to start stage 2. Good launch by both the 99 and the 88. Get themselves back out to 1 and 2. It's Christian Zarate now going to make the move on the outside. Zarate wasting no time to retake that race lead. It's Brandon Kiger battling the 88 for that P2 position here to start stage 2. Kiger going to use that top, going to get around the 88 here. So the 88 will drop back to P3. Now you see Dorian really aggressive to try to get back around this 85. Not going to make it happen quite yet. Kiger not with the best quarter. It's going to make the 88 side by side now going to the line. Give it to the 95 though. The 85, my apologies. Now Dorian will try to fight, but that 88 is really driving it in deep in the corner and try to stay side by side here. He'll get a decent run out of the corner there, but so does Dorian because he backed up the corner. And it's not 85 really racing this 88 really aggressively. Gonna be a little bit of a contact between those two. And with them fighting this hard, allowing that 99 to get away. If I'm Gondorian, I do exactly what he did right there. Let the 85 go. If he wants to use his stuff up, try to get to the race lead, let him do it. You sit back there, you save your stuff, you be content, right? There's a long way to go here in this race, coming with 80 to go in the next couple laps, so do a little battle for the P4 position now. Bully and Quinny, two Fords, could have dueled out here going into 3 and 4. Quinny just trying to get to that left rear quarter, trying to make that 55 give him the room there, but just cannot get back to it. They're really starting to come to effect here with these newer tires. I see the 41 finally going to get the side by side with the 55 going to 3 and 4. Will the 55 fight him, or will he just let him go here? He'll let him go. Now the 55 is going to look on the inside. Maybe no. The 41 in the wall. And here comes the 74 of Dolly. Trying to make a move on the outside. The 55 is going to be there. Side by side. What a run out of the 74. At 1 and 2. They're kind of boxed in with the 41 checking up a little bit. And they keep side by side with the 55. A little bit of a contact between those two. On the line. Give it to the 74. Some great battling throughout the pack here. You see now the one of Youngblood trying to make a move on the 55 of Goalie. But Goalie starting to fall back again. And once again, if I'm someone who gets stuck up there like that, you just let these guys go. Save your equipment. You can drive through the field here, especially at Kansas here. I mean, I know track position means a lot, but so does tire wear, in my opinion. Obviously, the tire wear is not going to be as much since we're at night. We talked about that in the pre-race, but if we get a long green flag run here, you will see the guys who abuse their stuff really badly, and they'll slowly kind of bleed away lap time. Ensuing battle for the lead. Kiger has caught the back end, and his 99 machine as Christian Zarati's under attack once again here by not the 88 this time, but the 95 of Brandon Kiger. You see Kiger trying to move around the racetrack a little bit, trying to find a different lane here. You know, with these next gens, clean air, but even in the sim, it's really, really good, and it really makes it easier to drive the car here. So you see the 85 trying to stick his nose in there a little bit earlier than the 99 is, and trying to maybe go a little bit lane higher than the 99 to try to get that clean air, but has not been able to get around the 99, and that's allowed people like Kadori Davis to come back. They're trying to make this a battle for the lead. And also someone like Oliver Quinney, and now Jonathan Dolly, who's trying to make a race here for this 41. And I did an NIS here at Kansas earlier this week, and before it switched over to the Charlotte Roval for like officials, and the car will loosen up throughout the run here, especially depending on where you run it. And using that top lane a little bit higher, you see like kind of like the 74 being a little bit squirrely out of the corners there, just because, you know, when you're leaning on this right rear, it does really start to loosen up the car there. And I do like that in this new, I don't know if it's the setup or what it is with the car here, but depending on where you run the car, it does affect the way that, you know, the car handles. If you go down there and run the bottom and you overdrive it and stuff, you will use up the right front. But if you go up there and rip the wall and you do, and you blitz through that right rear, you will start to get a little bit loose there. As you see, the 85, as I just say that, gets a little bit loose. It's up in an outside wall. He's going to go from P2 all the way back to P5 just in a blink of an eye. Go back and take a look and see what happened here. You'll actually get tight. Slap that outside wall. Lose all those spots there. You see Nazarati continuing the lead here at Kansas, and he's been, I mean, dominant here. Look at this, 48 of 55 here, complete. And it looks like he set sail to lead it a lot more here tonight at Kansas. So, obviously, Kendorian Davis is like very, very quick in his own right. And I think, you know, might have something for this 99. I don't know if Christian's maybe saving some tire here, or maybe this 88 had just a little bit better long run pace, but we've continued to see this 88 always reel in this 99 once again. Gotta be tidy with the wheel. You have to be tidy. You have to make sure you're not overdriving it. Not putting your car in spots to give yourself damage. You need to see how smooth with the wheel Kendorian is. Look. No jerking, no nothing. You just see him smooth in, smooth out. That's how you save tires. Not seesawing on the wheel. Not doing any of that. Smooth in, smooth out. Don't use up the tires. You hear him. You can hear he's listening to the car. He's listening to the tires to try to tell, you know, am I pushing a little bit too hard? Am I overdriving the corner? Am I getting in the gas a little bit too early? That's exactly what you want to do there. You see, have started to pull away from the rest of the field here like they did earlier in stage 1 as Quinny under attack from the 74. Jonathan Dolly trying to move his way up into a podium position as he's going to try to work that outside lane. Whoa! 55 in the wall right behind them. There's a 4-car blanket here from 3rd to 6th. It's always really found that top lane and really likes it there. Unfortunately, the top just doesn't work as well in 3rd and 4, so it's going to allow Quinny to go back down there and take the spot away from the 74. And I just hope that 74 isn't using the stuff up there, using the top. You can be semi-competitive by running the top everywhere. But if you overdrive the car, really, you really start to leak lap time and bleed away lap time if you're overdriving the car. So obviously we don't have a lot of data on the 74 as he hasn't really ran with us a whole lot this season. But he's shown a lot of pace here. A battle back here. 45 and 84 going at it there for 7th and 8th. For 8th and 9th, my apologies. Oh, contact between the 84 and the 45. Earlier, I said it out hard here. Neither one of these two drivers want to give up the spot. And TJ Henley back here in 10th. I'm still unsure of what gave him this penalty. I mean, he showed a lot of pace there at the start of the race, and has not been able to make up the time here. Hasn't been able to make up the track position. This is kind of the tale for this 13 machine all season. He's shown pace. He's shown times where he could go up there and win a race, and then something happens to the TH Designs machine, and he just kind of sits back here. They're making a move underneath the 84, Brian White. Brian gonna fight hard on the top, though. Not gonna let him have it easy. Yeah, I don't know, maybe TJ saving his stuff a little bit or something, but we saw so much pace out of this 13 earlier in the race. And now, I mean, barely in the top 10. Go back up to your battle for the lead here. Once again, and so does the 99 and 88 show here at Kansas. They pulled almost a 2.5-second lead over Oliver Quinney. Quinney just trying to hold on to this podium. He's got 4 cars, 3 other cars. Oh, as you see some contact between 85 and the 55. Quinney just doing everything he can to try to hold on to this P3 spot as he has 3 other cars breathing down his neck. So I think Quinney maybe used up his tires a little bit too much and is just trying to hold on. He's doing a good job defending. I think that 74 might be a little bit quicker, but just cannot get around him with the aero blocking that this 41's doing. 74 not going to look all the way down to the apron to be side by side in 1 and 2. Quinney pinned him all the way down on the bottom. There's going to be contact off the corner. Quinney will continue to keep the spot. And I knew that was probably coming. The bumper to the 41. Quinney's going to try to save it. No, contact with the 45. Cautional wave. You saw that one clear as day up here. Gotta fight Quinney here. So the 74 was getting really, the 41 was being really aggressive when it came to blocking, and 74 just said, hey, you're going to keep doing that, that's fine. I'm going to move you. Unfortunately, the 41 got sideways from the little bump, got into the back end of the 45, and going to send the 45 around. And that'll be a caution every day of the week. And unfortunately, that gave the 45 a meatball. So, nothing that Jacob could have done, just got caught up in two people trying to, race for third, and fortunately the 74 got done, cutting the 41 a break and didn't left there. So you'll see green flag, not green flag pit stops, but you'll see the second round of pit stops here for most of these drivers. Christian Zerati will bring the field down pit road, ignoring Davis and tail. See who can have a good pit stop here. So, Christian Zarate, not the stop he wants. And Dorian Davis wins the race off pit road. And while we get the time, we're going to go ahead and send you over to our partners over at iRacing to talk to you guys, and then we'll be right back after this quick commercial break.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head to head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series in officially licensed cars engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
We saw Dorian Davis win that race off pit road. Now we have a new front two. Dorian Davis in the 72 of Jonathan Dolly has moved his way up to the front two. As we'll get ready to get back into the restart zone. As we'll be green here. Once again from Kansas. Good jump by those front two rows as they get single file for those front two. It's a side by side back there for P3. As Zarate will try to clear the 55 as he does for that P3 position. Checks up the 55 a lot though, trying to get back down to the bottom lane. That's going to allow the 25, Benjamin Bushnell, to clear up here for that P4 position. Bushnell up to the spot he qualified in and making moves here later in this race. I was wondering where this 25 went. Showed a lot of pace of practice, showed a lot of pace in qualifying. This was the fastest driver in practice. And kind of has not shown up here for the race, but here he comes now. Now a little bit of a pressure. Now he's got a 3 wide situation here for this P5 position. He's going to try to duck down to the bottom. It's Zarate now trying to hold on to this P3 position. It's the first time we've seen Zarate in a pack the whole race here, so Christian's gonna have to take some time to get used to this now dirty air that he's not used to. And because of that, battling, it's allowed these front two to get away. About a 7-8 tenths of a second lead over P3 of now Anthony Alex, we haven't talked about all day. Anthony, a newcomer to the Prestige Cup Series, and knowing the pace that he has right now. This Aftershock Motorsports machine right now running in the P3 position. Looking pretty good right now. I mean, he's pulled away from Zarate back there in P4, who's trying to hold on here, as there's a ton of battling back here outside this top four. Everybody all over each other back here. Zarate with a bumper from the 13. And the 13 super upset. He's going to save it. Contacts from the one machine. Wow, that was a really bad, could have been a really bad turn of events here. Everybody all over each other here. 3x3 at Kansas, right? And you don't hear that a lot. And I think right now, unfortunately, I think it's Zerati who's kind of causing all these. I think Zerati either just car is not handling right or he's trying to save tires. And he kind of bunched everybody together here. And people are being aggressive here with only 48 to go. We should get at least one more green flag pit stop, but you know, they lost a lot of time to the front three here. Trying to fight it out here. Brandon Kiger will get clear for P4. Gabriel Goli now battling this 99 for the P5 position. I gotta feel bad for this 13 Hanley. That was his opportunity right there to take advantage of Zerati, you know, kind of holding up at the whole field there. And he was the one who kind of got the bad end of that stick there, getting loose after putting a bumper to the 99, and then getting contact from the one machine of Youngblood back there. Now back here in 10th where he was before. He does have a gaggle of cars right here. He can get around. He's gonna look underneath the 84, make it 3 wide on the bottom. He gets around the 84, gonna try to make a move on the 66 here. Cannot make anything happen on the 66 right now. This is your best battles out here on the track right now. We do have a kind of a battle for the lead there, but not side by side yet. But the 74 is all over the back end of the 88. Not letting this 88 get away, just kind of like how Dorian was with the 99 of Christian Zerati. And I think the tide has changed now. Since Christian got in that dirty air, I don't think he has the car to beat now. And Dorian looks really good now since he's gotten this lead. But look at the 88 here. Laps led. 18 now. I've got quite a bit to go to get to the 99's laps led. Get those bonus points, but with 43 to go, I think he can get there, but he'd have to lead almost every lap, so we'll see what he could do here. He's got the 74 all over him, getting ready to pounce if he makes a mistake. Don't count out Anthony Alex back here in P3. Is kept with these guys. And if they start the battle side by side, it's going to allow this 40 to reel them in. And then obviously you have Kiger back here, who's trying to get back up, but a lot of these guys are very badly negated by, getting kind of held up there, Almost 2.5 seconds behind the race leader here with 41 to go. Obviously, plenty of time to go back there and catch the leader, but you're going to have to work hard now. Battles back here, Henley. Trying to stay ahead of the 84 now. Do a little bit of damage to that 13 machine after getting some contact with some other vehicles. Deep dimple on that front end, probably affecting the way that car handles now, or at least just not giving them as much power. Fortunate that this TH Designs machine, I mean, I've said it before, had a lot of pace, but needs something to go his way this race to get him back up there towards the front. Now everybody's starting to slinky out here and get away from each other. You see Kanoyan has really started to pull a gap on the 74 of Dolly here. Dolly's still running the top lane. And then Anthony Mix, you know, been back here in P3, second and a half off the leader here. I don't know if this 4 is or 4D machine. It says 4 in the sim, 40 on track. We'll call him the 40 because that's what's on his car. I don't know if he's saving tires. I don't know what he's doing here, but he's put himself in a really good spot to at least get a podium. See Tiger back here in P4. But even a second and a half off the P3 driver of Anthony. And they need a miracle. I think these guys need a caution here. Everybody really third on back needs a caution. They want to catch this race leader. '74 is really falling off here. Now here comes a 40 machine. And Anthony Alex going to try to make a move for this P2 position. And we talked about tire wear. And we talked about it before. This 74 has been really prone to run the wall here all race. That's all he's ran is this wall. Now you're starting to see the effects of it. We've ran now 20 laps here on these tires. You're starting to see that just the pace out of this 74 has just started to go away. Now maybe the car is handling fine, but it is just faster to run the bottom. It's the shorter way around the track, and it's just frankly the way you want to save tires is to run the bottom here at Kansas. And the 74, you still see he's making this battle competitive because the top is still good, but it just wears the tires out. You know, and the only thing that's keeping him in this battle is the momentum you get off the corners. And this 40 really needs to get around this 74. He's going to allow, you know, Kiger to run these guys down. And Kiger will bring along goalie and Bushnell. So they really need this 40 needs to try to get around the 74 as quick as he can, even if it's a little bit of an aggressive move. I think he'll clear him right here. Caution is out. We'll see what the caution's for here. Eli McDonald looks like maybe had an issue. But Eli getting lapped. A lot of damage to that right front. Oh man. You're getting that outside wall. And the 75 is just gonna dump the 1. I can't imagine Youngblood's very happy about that. It might have been some prior beef because it looks like 73 is still making some extracurricular contact with the 1 machine. I'm not sure, but that will be a caution. And you gotta hate it for the 1. I mean, Youngblood is spin fast. He's shown pace. A lot throughout the season, and just this kind of stuff happens to him, and it sucks. There's nothing that really he could have done. I mean, you couldn't have expected that he was going to get hooked in the outside wall, so by a slower car. So it is what it is. I mean, it sucks, but so you see the 4 actually going to lead us out of pit road here, a 9.2 second pit stop. So I'm not sure if he only took 2 or maybe he took fuel only. But everybody else comes down, takes a regular, 14, 15 second stop here. And I mean, Anthony will lead his first laps here in the Prestige Cup Series, so good for him. But I'm not sure if this is the call to win the race here. We'll have to see. So the 40 will lead us back to green. Checking in on the Niners Rams game. Looks like we have an injury. Is Mac Jones already a backup for Brock Purdy for the Niners? Like injured his calf. They're gonna have to put in another backup for the Niners, but they are up 20-7. The Rams was a huge favorite to win that game with a lot of the injuries of the 49ers offense and defense, with Nick Bosa being out, obviously Jawan Jennings and others out. The Rams were the favorite, and they're down 20-7 here. About halfway done with the third quarter, so maybe the Rams can get it turned back around there with Mac Jones out of the game here. But we're going to come back to the race here as the 40 and the 88 and another new front row will lead us back to green here with 30 laps to go here from Kansas. Good jump by the 40 machine. He's gonna allow the 74 to clear the 88. How can this 40 hold on, and how long can he hold on for? You see, wow, the 66 going up there and ripping the wall there. That case trying to make up some spots here early in this restart. He's gonna do that. I think he's gonna make up 3 or 4 spots on this restart. He's put himself all the way up into the P5 position. If you want to run the top, this is the time to do it, where you have the fresh tires. As long as you don't do that, as long as you don't hit the wall. Maybe use up those tires just a little bit to get some track position, then get back there, try to conserve some tires. Sit in line there. We see some battles back here. Tire getting looked at by the 55er goalie. Ooh, goalie really sending it into the corner there. Had to back out of it. We're still going to stay side by side with the 85 machine. With the P6 spot. Ooh, Kiger's going to really driving in the corner to try to stay ahead of the 55. He's going to keep the spot. But he cannot afford to do that too many times. Just drive it in there like that. And now contact between the 99 and the 55. Christian Zarate trying to drive his way through the field once again. I'm going to clear the 55 here. Zarate gets that P7 position. And I'm surprised Anthony Alex has been able to keep that race lead with the strategy call here. So maybe that was a move to win the race there, but we'll have to see here. Still some really good battling out here right outside the top 5. Hager now making a move underneath the 66. Go here to teammates. Hager will make that spot work, as now here comes the 66 with the crossover. That case now back underneath the 88, the 85. He'll make that spot work. Now battling back here behind here. Fully underneath the 99 of Zarate. And this is exactly what TJ needed right here. An opportunity to come up here and make up some spots cleanly. You see, he's got a nice clean car. going back up to your race leader. This 40 has really impressed me. Did not take tires there, or if not, I at least took two. I would say took two is going to be my best guesstimation, because if he took no tires and is pulled away, I would be very, very impressed. But Alex is doing a phenomenal job with this race lead right now. Jonathan Dolly's kept it. And honestly, these two battling off of P2 is exactly what the 40 needs. Got older tires, and we know the 74 is not just going to pull over. He's going to try to fight as hard as he can here to keep this spot. You're going to go to run off the corner. Still going to stay side by side with the 88 of Dorian Davis. That's where Dorian can make the move here. You can get a good rotation down here on the bottom. Uses up to 74 a little bit. 74 is still going to have a little bit of a momentum from the one in the top lane. But I think the 88 will clear. Ooh, barely going to get down there and clear. Once again, the 74 is going to go up there, run up the top, chase the car up the track. Trying to get a run off the corner here. And Dorian Davis will finally clear the 74. We're going to try to set his sights on the 4 machine. The 40 of Anthony Alex there. I mean, he's just 7/10 up the road here, so coming to 20 to go. You know, Kansas, these laps are winding down. Battle back out here. Once again, he's just battling outside that top 3. His battles all over the track. Gabe Ngoli trying to get around Zach Case. Zach Case will get in the outside wall there. Should allow the 55 to clear. Oh, contact once again. Hanley contact with the 99 of Zarate. Hanley going to make a move, going to make it middle 3. Not quite. It's a contact once again with the 99. Hanley, you can tell, is trying to get a... I think he's getting a little impatient. That was close. Trying to get around that lap car. The laps are coming down. I think Hanley knows he's got a fast car. Getting a little bit impatient to try to get around some of these guys that he thinks he's faster than. Anthony Alex still continues to lead here. He's actually pulled away a little bit from Dorian Davis. This is still your best battle on track here. As the 55 to 13 and 99 kind of all in a little blanket here. And they're going to try to top here in 1 and 2. Go down there and drive the bottom here. Ooh, contact, almost. Forces the 55 up the track. He's going to make the pass here. And it spooks the 55 into giving him the spot. Put Handley up here inside the top 6. Going to try to run down that 25 machine as we have a battle right up the road here. There's Brandon Kiger, who's gotten around the 74. He's trying to get around the 74. 74. I mean, I'll give him this. Dolly has not given up on anything. He's raced everybody super hard. Everybody's super clean as well. He's fighting here to try to keep this podium spot here with 13 to go. And these two have to sort it out here because they're slowly getting ran down by these guys behind. PJ Hanley getting around the 25 here. PJ should have a good run off, should clear this 25, put him up inside the top 5 once again. And he's 3.5 seconds behind the race leader of Anthony. I don't know if he's going to have the time to get up to there, but he shows a lot of pace right now. Go back up to your leader here. The 40 is still leading the way somehow. And Dorian Davis has not been able to catch up to your race leader here. He's trying to run in that top down to, I think this is desperation time for this 88. And you might start to see, well, I was just going to say, you might start to see this 40 move up and try to block this lane that the Dorian's trying to run here. And you really saw it hindered the 88 speed right there. And Dorian going to go down to the bottom. And Dorian just has to go where the 40 isn't. To try to make up pace here. I think with the fresh tires, he should be able to get up to there. 9 laps, he's only a little over half a second behind. I think he might have the car to do it. Going back to Brandon Kiger, who just got around the 74. I mean, he's 2.5 seconds off. And 9 to go. It's going to be a tough ask for him to catch back up. But if those two drivers in front start to battle out, don't count out this 85. Go up there and sneak away. Then Jonathan Dolly right here, just trying to hold on to P4 right now, but starting to get reeled in by some guys behind. Hanley, Dolly, running down the 74 machine. He pushes Roddy back here in the 6th place, 7th place. I thought maybe he was the car to beat, but once he got in the state air, just the handling of this car just went away in this 99 machine, and just has not been able to recover. The lap car, Oliver Quinney, right in front of the 74. That's going to slow him down a little bit. Going to force him to run the bottom. Yeah. And he's not used to running the bottom. That really slowed him up a lot. As here comes Hanley. Hanley's going to run the top here. Hanley going to try to make it 3 wide down here on the bottom. 3 wide with the lap car to 74, putting contact with the lap car. Hanley's going to take that easily. Here comes Golly around the 74. 74 is not happy with the 41 right now. I mean, if I'm Quinney, I just back out of that. I mean, you're 5 laps down. You have really nothing to race for. I mean, he's just down there pinching that 74. I don't know, maybe there's some beef between these two or something. But here we go. There it is. 74. And then spin it out. That'll be a caution. And that's the second time the 74 has kind of lost his temper there and made some contact with another driver. Granted, that one I think is a little bit more warranted than the 99. Then no, that was the 41. We got the bumper to the 74 back there to get our second caution of the night. We'll have to go way back to think about that. So there was a reason why the 41 was racing them hard. I mean, the 74 basically took the 41 out of the race there. So the 41 said, no, like, my race is over because of you. And I'm not going to let you go. And you see the 74 finally lost his temper. Grabbed the 41 and himself there. Unfortunately, Benjamin Bushnell gets caught up in it. Trying to slow up for the wreck. It's on the binders here. Unfortunately, and it sucks because the way the car works here, we'll go on board with this 25. The way that this next gen works now is as soon as you get on the brakes in a weird spot, the car will just shake it to the right. There's nothing you can do. It's on the brakes right there. And it just yanks it around. Nothing that the 25 could have done. And we'll say his fault. Saw two drivers racing hard, and unfortunately, you saw the 74 kind of retaliate because he was getting held up. But this will change the complexity of the race because now we will be going in the NASCAR overtime. And this will give everybody a chance here to. I don't know if I think Kendorian might have got that one again. Giving it to the 88. Kendorian has been just so good in the box all day today. And that stop single-handedly might have won him the race. We'll see. So we approach NASCAR overtime due to that caution between the 74 and the 41. And they're giving Anthony Alex and Zach Case a near well. I am a little confused. So they gave your race leader a near well. Which basically eliminates him from any opportunity to race for a win here. I wish we had someone in chat maybe explaining why people are getting penalties here, but speeding in pits. Okay, that makes sense. That's tough for Zach Case, Benjamin Bushnell, Anthony Alex right there, but this gives an opportunity to the 85, Brandon Kiger. But we'll hand it over to Kendorian Davis, Brandon Kiger, Toyota Chevy front row. As we'll be going into NASCAR overtime here, we're green. Wow, not a good stop by Kiger, and he's going to get turned. Kiger turn going into the tri-oval. We'll have to see live what happened. Just looked like Kiger didn't get a good jump. I don't know if you put that on. I see that Zarate got a near well. I don't know if you put that on the. I don't know if I put that on the 99, honestly. The 85 clearly turns down the track here. Ferrari didn't move up or down, in my opinion. We'll go ahead and look at your chopper cam here in slow-mo. I mean, clearly, it's clear as day to me that the 85 turned down the track. So, that's gonna be interesting. Obviously, I'm not the race control, but that's very interesting. I'll give Kenorian Davis the race lead here. I'll give Wyatt Youngblood the P2 position. Wyatt has had a very down day. I wouldn't say it's even been up and down. It's been very down. Remember, he's gotten involved in some wrecks. Has just kind of rode in the back a lot of the race, and now is up here in the opportunity to win this race. TJ Hanley is taking advantage of this very nicely as well. And Hanley has shown race-winning speed, in my opinion. Got caught up in some things out of his doing. And it would be fitting to, you know, have the sponsor of the playoffs win a playoff race. It would be kind of, it'd feel really nice here, at least for me up in the broadcast booth, because obviously without people like DH Design and TJ and everybody else who helps sponsor this league, we can't put on broadcast. We can't pay out drivers and give trophies and stuff. So it'd be really nice to see if TJ could bring it home here. But obviously we have to do another overtime here from Kansas to see who wins it here for round 2 of the playoffs. Lance off on the pace car, which means we should be going green this time without any other notices. See the pace car take a hard left turn on the pit road, and now it's going to be Dorian Davis. Wyatt Youngblood. I'm going to take a serious. Oh, the 88 has blinked. TJ Hanley's going to take advantage of that. I mean, he said, hey, if you're going to give me the advantage here, I'm going to take it. The 13's going to actually give the spot back to the 88 there, but he's going to move himself into the P2 position. The 88 in front of the 13, in front of the 1. We're going to get it back to the line here, and the race is going to be official. 1 lap to go for Dorian Davis. TJ Hanley back there in second. Who's going to take it? Becky in the back. We'll look at the race for the lead here. Dorian Davis running the bottom. Hanley on the top into the wall. That might be all that Dorian needs. Hanley going to go up there and run the wall one more time. Going to send in a prayer. Dorian Davis out of 3 and 4. He's going to do it again. Back to back at Atlanta, and now he wins at Kansas. What a great win for Dorian. I mean, it was a top 2 car all race. I felt like the only car that really you could say was a standout besides him was the 99, who led a lot of laps early. And that 13 of TJ. And I think TJ kind of a break there because he blinked. He could have stayed inside of him and really made it difficult for the 88, but it looked like he backed out and was being a gentleman about it. And I think that's the thing that won this race for the 88 here. And Dorian's third win of the season. Obviously went back-to-back at Atlanta. At the Echo Park Speedway and then Atlanta Motor Speedway. And then now he's going to burn it down here at Kansas for his first win of the playoffs. You'll see him park this 88 right here across the start finish line. What a win. What a win for this 88 machine. Just like that. We'll get ready to talk to your top 3 finishers, but while we wait on everybody to get into the waiting room and everything else, we're going to go ahead and let you guys hear from our partners at iRacing one last time, and we'll give our sponsor shoutouts, and then we'll talk to your top 3 here from Kansas.
Racing isn't easy. Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Prestige Cup Series is brought to you by Backmarker. Make sure to use code PSRN10 at checkout for any of your backmarker needs. Admin Box. If you're looking for any admin-related tools, whether it's race control, even as a driver for a button box or just a race control trying to call the race, make sure to use Admin Box and make sure to use code PRSBOX at checkout. Team Foster. Team Foster is a nonprofit to help some wounded veterans get service dogs at little to no cost, and a huge supporter of the AWC, the Prestige Cup Series. So make sure to help the Prestige Cup Series fundraise money for Team Foster. Just a great cause. Lastly, Prestige Cup Series brought to you by 4 Mile Productions. If you're looking for any productions or any promotions or anything like that, make sure to go to 4 Mile Productions Promotions and use code PRS15 at checkout. But besides that, let's go ahead and get ready to talk to your race winner for tonight's race. Let's go ahead and talk to Dorian Davis, that number 88 machine. See if we can get him down here. Hey, Kendorian, it's Christian up here in the HVTV booth. You got a copy? Well, I mean, very interesting race for you. It seemed like you had, a top 2 car all race, and was able to, take advantage. It seemed like, I thought maybe Christian might have had something for you, but as soon as he lost that, I'm gonna assume that clean air, that Heartland really came away from that 99 machine, but you were able to, stay up there inside the top 3 really all race, and were able to outdo everybody in those green white checkers. So just walk us through your race and walk us how you got up here in the victory lane.
Yeah, it was definitely a hard, rough fight tonight to try to get up there. Um, I knew qualifying was going to be critical, so I did my best there to try to get a top position, and I mean got P3. But I knew it was going to be enough to try to get out in front of Kristen. But once we got going, I was able to stay within like 0.2, like 0.2 seconds of Kristen. But due to the dirty air, I just could not pass him. I could stay with him, but not pass him. He's just a master at dirty air defense. Um, that contact, like coming to the stage, we made some kind of contact. I blinked out, and I'm guessing that's when the contact happened. That I really hate that because I'm not a dirty racer. I don't do that stuff. But that part really sucks. But happy to be here in victory lane. I know I took a full advantage of that last caution because Anthony Alex, shout out to him. He had the race won. I don't know what strategy he took, but he had the race won until that last caution.
Yeah, I was definitely surprised to see that Anthony could hold on to the lead there, despite I was told in chat that he took 2. So I was surprised that he could hold on to it there, obviously. And speaking of that, like I think part of the reason that he had that advantage was because it was maybe at night. Do you think that really did play a difference between the dirty air and being able to like hold on to tires a little bit longer? Was just because it was at night here versus the day where it'd been really hot and slick?
I believe that it definitely has a lot to do with the track being as cool as it is. The car is like it's not as grippy. It's really like it. You can really slide the car like once you get up against the wall, it's a little more free, so you can really slide it off the corner, get momentum off exit, and that's what he was doing. I was trying to watch the line he was running. He was kind of mixing it up, trying to throw me off, but once he got to the top, he started pulling away from me, and I couldn't do anything. The car just would not work right.
The top lane's kind of it's kind of that textbook definition kind of Kansas line is that top lane. But yeah, going back to that contact between you and the 99, at least up here from the broadcast booth, we saw you blink out, and then like he spun out kind of on his own, but we knew it was probably from like netcode contact. So obviously nothing you could have done in that, right? But still, you really battled that 99 hard at the end, and then obviously we're able to park it in victory lane tonight at Kansas, getting your 3rd win of the season here. And obviously in the playoffs really means a lot when it comes to doing points for you. But before we let you go, is there anybody you want to thank here for this win?
Yeah, I definitely like to thank all the guys here that hung around, all the drivers that hung around here in the league. I know we've been going through some rough patches, but they're sticking with us, and I guarantee to you guys it's going to be much better next season. I definitely like to shout out my team, Mach Fire Racing, Frost Motorsports, Y Youngblood, TJ Hart, TJ Handley on a podium finishes. And again, like to shout out you guys for broadcasting the league.
Appreciate the kind words, but once again, congratulations on your third win of the season, first of the playoffs. Definitely gonna help in the lengthen that that points gap here coming into next week. But once again, congratulations. We'll let you go down, celebrate, get ready for next week, and hopefully we can talk to you again sooner or later.
Yeah, thank you.
That was your winner for tonight's race, Ganorian. Obviously, masterful win here tonight. You saw led 37 laps here tonight at Kansas. Let's go ahead and talk to you, P2 driver. I'm really excited to talk to this 13 machine, TJ Henley. Let's go ahead and talk to him. Hey TJ, it's Christian up here in the HV2 booth. You got a copy?
Hello, Christian and HVTV. How are we doing tonight?
Well, probably not as good as you. I mean, honestly, TJ, you really seem to have a really good car underneath you tonight. You know, definitely had some bad luck there. Got some incidental contact that kind of drug you back there. Towards the back half at the top 10, but we're able to drive your way up through the field here. Took advantage of some other people making mistakes there at the end, especially down Pit Road. It seemed like those last 2 or 3 cautions, there's a lot of people that got caught speeding. That gave you the opportunity to, start P3 on that restart, but, qualified really well and really it looked like had a lot of race pace. But just walk us through your race, walk us through that, especially the end of that race for you.
Yeah, I was not expecting to qualify P2. That was kind of a surprise for me, but that was fun. I think that was my best since something about postseason, man. I just show up for postseason. Um, yeah, and I had Jacob Fifield with me this evening. He is a e-college racer, and I said, "Hey, man, I could use some help because I want to get better." He's like, "All right, I'll help you out," and we started saving right from the get-go. So then we got there to the end of that. I know Kendorian and Christian had a little bit of network issues, but worked our way up to P2, got some good points. I sped on pit road during the stage break, which is unfortunate because it is so hard to pass. Despite the multi-groove, it is tough to pass. We never did green flag pit stops, so I guess I should be thankful for that. But like, I love a good strategy race. And then there was the incident where Christian, I was battling the 25, trying to get around him because I was trying to use the top side. And once I got around him, I knew I wanted to get back on the bottom. So I was already committed to that in one. That all right, I'm clear of him. I'm going to park it in front of him. I was not expecting Christian to park it on the bottom as well. So we all stacked up there. Luckily, nobody wrecked. I think that's a huge compliment to the field and our capabilities. Then just had to work my way up back through the field. Right there at the end, on on that late race restart coming to the initial green white checkered. I asked Jacob, what do we think? 2 tires or 4? He's like, man, I really want you on the offense at all times. I don't want you to have to rely on 2 old tires. I said, all right, I can't argue with the Kevin Harvick strat. Let's go 4. Got lucky that 2 drivers in front of me got caught up to each other. We got up to 3rd. That last restart was weird because Kendorian, right before the zone, disappeared. So iRacing said I was now the leader. Well, I was behind Youngblood, so I was trying to scoot up. The second I scoot up, Kendorian comes back, and I'm inside of it, and we're both just going. So it was a little weird, but I'm glad we didn't. I'm happy that we didn't just flag it off. That we could just run it. And then I did not trust that high side with fresh tires on a evening track. But good points day for me. Started second. I don't think I led the lap, which I think is the only downside. Didn't get any bonus points for that. No bonus points for clean racing, but it is what it is. But a second place finish, so that should be a pretty good points night. That'll definitely move us up in the rankings. And watch out because I mean that was the biggest mistake was letting me in postseason because now I can take it seriously, and it's gonna be a big mistake for the rest of the field. Is that now I'm taking this seriously and I'm not goofing off.
Awesome. I mean, I can definitely see the speed out of this 13 machine, especially tonight. And if you can continue to, carry this momentum and then into the rest of the playoffs, you can make a really deep run. I feel like here, TJ. But before I let you go, is there anybody you want to thank here for this P2 finish? Any friends, family, sponsors, anybody for this podium spot?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Thank you to Jacob Fifield for jumping in. Also big thank you to Aiden, Aiden Donahue. He was originally going to help me out tonight, but he got caught up with some IRL stuff. Um, man, those two guys are just phenomenal drivers. Thank you to all the drivers for TH Designs. Y'all's vision is my job and my hobby, and I love it. If anyone's ever looking to, if you, I 100% believe if you look fast, you go fast, and who doesn't want to look fast, right? So thank you to everybody, the entire family for that. And Youngblood is a THD driver. The 77 is a TH driver. So I do appreciate them for running my brand this year. I'm always going to be appreciative of it. And speaking of Youngblood, I believe you have him next.
You have Youngblood next, but we're gonna go ahead and let you go. And obviously, we have to thank you for sponsoring the postseason for here in Prestige. So obviously, couldn't do without you guys and all the sponsors who doing that as well. But once again, congratulations on this P2 finish. Hopefully, like you said, you can continue this momentum and we can talk to you later on throughout the season.
Agreed. I hope to see y'all some more. Have a good night, y'all.
That was the 13 at TJ Henley. Let's go ahead and talk to your third place finisher. We can get him here. Wyatt Youngblood. Excuse me for that, chat. If we can get some promo shots of this one machine. Let's go ahead and talk to Wyatt Youngblood. Hey Wyatt, it's Christian up here in the HPTV booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Well, a solid race for you. I feel like you had more, I would say, downs than ups a lot. You just kept getting caught up in stuff kind of out of your doing, but took advantage of those mistakes, I guess, at the end from these other drivers and wound up driving your way up through the P3 finish. So walk us through your race. Walk us through your race and walk us through how you got up here into this third place position.
Yeah, our long run speed wasn't good, and I knew that before the race started. So I originally tried to save tires, which I'm not good at all. So I was like, well, there goes that idea. So I was really just depending on short run pace. So every time a caution would come out, I'd try to make up as many positions as possible. And during those green flag runs, I would usually just lose those positions because I can't tire save. So, of course, we were able to recover from the wreck with Eli. And towards the end, a caution came out, and I knew that was really good for us because we were able to take 2 tires. And like I said, we were amazing on short run pace. And if that caution didn't come out, I was gonna finish 11th. So I'm glad that came out and we finished third.
Yeah, walking us through kind of like that long and short run pace. What do you think is the difference between, having a good long run pace? I saw, some guys who ran the top who made it work. Some guys are in the bottom. Do you really think it's a line prevalent, or do you just think it's, kind of how you set up the car?
Kind of a little bit of both. You've got to be good at throttle control, and you got to be careful with how you race people. And the line also has a little bit to do with it. You just got to hit that sweet spot and know when to turn in and when to exit. So that really plays a factor in the race.
Yeah, going down to those last couple of green white checkers, obviously you said you were really thankful to get those cautions because you just didn't have the long run pace. Walk us through, when you know that kind of this is your opportunity to go down there, get a better finish than what you were gonna get. Walk us through like the mindset and like how you prepare yourself for those overtime finishes of when really anything can happen there. We saw, the 85 get spun on or one of those green white checkers. Walk us through like how you prepare for those.
Yeah, it really helps when there's teammates up there with you. I had TJ and Ken leading the race, so I was really relying on Ken to count down the green, and me and TJ would get going whenever he counted down to one, and um, really it just comes down to a lot of teamwork on those green white checkers. Because if you're not good, if you're not great at teamwork, then you're not really going to get anywhere, and people are just going to pass you. So, teamwork really comes into play on those green white checkers.
Well, seems like obviously your teammate there in Condorian and TJ, all top three for you guys. So clean sweep for you guys there. Um, and you get to come home P3. Obviously, a decent points day for you in this one team. Is there anybody you'd like to thank here for this podium spot?
Yeah, all of my teammates, Frost Motorsports, Mach 5 Racing, Top Speed Graphics, they help me a lot in these races, and that's one of the reasons I'm able to come back from what could be a bad finish.
We definitely did a good job of doing that. But once again, congratulations on this third place finish, and we'll let you get back down to wherever you need to be to prepare for next week, and hopefully we'll talk to you maybe a couple spots better.
Yep, thank you.
That was your third place finish, your Wyatt Youngblood in that one machine, and that will do it for tonight here at Kansas. We'll go ahead and do a race rundown here for your unofficial race results here from Kansas Motor Speedway for the Heartland 312 second round of the playoffs. So obviously we talked to your top three finishes here tonight at Kansas. Dorian Davis comes home for his third win of the season. DJ Henley comes home P2 for his best finish of the season. And we've talked to Wyatt a handful of times this year, coming home in P3. Anthony Alex, I feel like, yeah, like Dorian said, had this race wrapped up if he didn't get that caution there, but he'll come home P4. Christian Zarate really dominant early in the race, comes home P5. Zach Case P6. Brandon Kiker P7 after getting contact on that last restart with the 99. It's gonna come home P7. Brian White P8. Gabriel Ngoli P10, and rounding out your top 10 is Jonathan Dolly. Showed a lot of promising speed out of that 74, but just did not have the long run pace there at the end. Justin Wilkes is going to come home 11th there, 1 lap down. Eli McDonald, 3 laps down in 12th. Oliver Quinning, 6 laps down after contact from the 74. Is going to come home P13. Benjamin Bushnell comes home 14th, out early due to the contact from the 74 and the 41. Jacob Hoskins, saw him in the chat. His engine expired on that 45 machine, unfortunately. And then Joseph Enright comes home 16th. Had to park the car early. But a great night of racing for everybody involved here. And I had a great time calling the race here. Obviously, my home track, and we had a great, hard battles all throughout the race there. We saw 3 wide, we saw 2 wide. We saw like a consistent battle for the lead throughout the whole race there. So, I mean, I really enjoyed it. And I'm glad that, my home track got to put on a good show for you guys at home. But once again, my name was Christian Delgado, your lead producer and commentator for tonight's race. Hopefully, we can have Peter Terriero or someone else up here in the booth with me next week for round 3 of the playoffs to the Prestige Cup Series. But coming up on the High Velocity TV channel tomorrow, we are off for the AWC Pro Series, as we will kick off their playoffs not tomorrow but next week. But so the next broadcast for us will be this coming Thursday once again for the Prestige Cup Series for week 3 of the playoffs. And hopefully we can get excited for there. And then obviously next week as well, we'll be back for the start of the playoffs for the AWC Pro Series at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. So can't wait to be calling the races here once again. And I appreciate everybody for coming out, for watching a production of the Prestige Cup Series here at Kansas Speedway. Once again, my name is Christian Delgado, your lead producer, commentator. And if you guys don't mind dropping a like on the stream, following either on the YouTube or on Twitch, wherever you're watching. And I hope everybody has a great rest of the night. And I appreciate the love and support, guys. We're growing broadcast network, and I enjoy doing this as much as I can. But once again, I hope everybody has a great rest of the night, and we'll see you guys soon.